So there you are, just thinking of things sometimes, and sometimes ideas come and go, don't they? But you can't always grasp them at the right time, and very often, sometimes you won't even maybe, make the effort. One lady, though, who's made plenty of effort with all sorts of things is a lady from Suffolk. Her name is Mary Bird, and she was at the MOBO Awards recently, and also with her idea, she kind of touched a few hearts, I believe, at the Conservative Party conference. But let's find out more about Mary Bird. Hello, Mary.
Hi, Sue. It is just so brilliant speaking to you, having been a friend on Facebook for, about a year or something?
Well, there you go, you see, social networking
Absolutely.
in its finest. And now we're actually getting to talk to each other, and that's a nice way to, that's how it should be, shouldn't it? Now, you're over there in Suffolk, just outside Bury St Edmunds,
Yeah.
and you have, you came up with a great idea, sitting round your kitchen table, and this is your latest project, I think, isn't it? Kama Sutra. Tell us how that occurred.
Right. Well, it actually began quite a long time ago when I was back in about 1983, when I was like a single mother on income support, having sort of just come out of a marriage from a rock star, actually. But I was a songwriter, and I wrote a silly little song for some local guys in the pub
Yep.
about how they loved their cars and so on. And they laughed and joked and said, you should get that on Top Gear, sort of not really knowing my background at all. So I basically went up to the NEC. Top Gear was there. It ended up being used on Top Gear. And while I was up there, I realized there was absolutely nothing for me to buy like the guys back home, except the odd keyring or the old works manual or something.
Mm.
And that's where I began to see this huge global brand. It got put in the loft, and in 2006 I brought it down because I'd actually written a book called The Kama Sutra for the man who loves his car.
Yep.
And it just started to roll from there.
Which is a lovely way of kind of putting an idea away and actually going, well, hang on a minute. If only some of us do write our ideas down and put them somewhere. I mean, in a loft. How many other ideas have you got in your loft?
I have quite a few, but I've got to get this one off and up and going. The story of the book is basically I brought it down from the loft because all the kids were saying, "Oh, Mum, you wrote this book. Oh, you haven't done anything with it, blah blah blah." So I thought, right, I'm going to just get it, just a few printed up, form a little publishing company, and then it would mean that it would have to go in the British Library, so my great-great-grandchildren could discover it and realize that this sort of past relative, did more than sort of, I don't know, knitting or something. And blow me, it got picked up by the Publishing News Christmas books catalogue, and within 9 weeks I had to be able to supply the entire UK book market.
Woo.
And it actually made the Amazon bestsellers list. So that's what happened with the book. I was going to go on and do a documentary about the three housewives going off for a car with a gumball rally, but that didn't happen because of the credit crunch.
Mm.
So I thought, right, I'm going to concentrate on the male cosmetic range, because every single year I used to wander into some very well-known high street retailers looking for gifts to buy men who love their cars, and there was basically nothing there. And year I could see that the joke hadn't been done. And I now own the international trademark, so nobody else can do it. I've just got to get it out there now.
How fantastic. Well, hang on. Round of applause.
Oh, brilliant.
Now, this house actually took you to the MOBO Awards recently, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, that was very strange because I haven't really done any promotion for this product at all. I mean, it's basically, I have a range of custom Kama Sutra, sports Kama Sutra, and classic Kama Sutra, which is basically a range of male toiletries that are then packaged in amusing packaging. So we've got petrol head shampoo and stuff like that.
Sure.
And the Mobos was on Wednesday, this last Wednesday, and I just got a phone call through on the Friday saying, Mary, we need something, that's really different to give to all the stars, because you're backstage and they all have these sort of gifts and so on and so forth. Can you make it? I said, well, it's Friday, and I said, yeah, okay, because I was actually on the Monday, I'd actually also been invited to provide all the table gifts for the Conservative Party ball at the Savoy in London.
Amazing.
So I went from one extreme to the other.
Well, it's always the way, isn't it?
I know. But I have two brilliant old school friends who are just irreplaceable. Debbie King and Caroline Scrace. I'll call them in their maiden names because I use my maiden name as well.
Sure.
And they've been absolutely brilliant at just saying, you have to go, Mary, and then Caroline said, I'm coming with you, and we arranged it. And there we were, backstage with everybody. And everybody that you see in the Mobos, everybody has my Kama Sutra product.
How fantastic!
Mm.
That's just a dream come true. I mean, and it's weird when you think about cars, and guys who love their cars. They might have a bit of music as well on their very, big bass bass sub in the boot and one thing or another. But the actual fact that Kama Sutra is out there in the nicest sense of the word as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Kama Sutra means car love.
Yeah.
So, and it's two separate words: Kama Sutra, C-A-R.
Yeah.
MASUTRA.com. All one word.
Yes.
But when people see it and they read it and then they read it again, it's just brilliant. I mean, even Jermaine Jackson, he just loved it. So, I now have photographs of, all the people that were there actually, endorse the product. So I've got, Uncle Tom Cobley and all.
How fantastic! It's just lovely. But you actually have a gift award, don't you? That was presented to you.
Yes. That was another thing I just thought I'll put it into, because before I went into major manufacture, I wanted to make sure that I got some ticks.
Yeah.
From the industry. So I entered it into the Giftware Association Gift of the Year Award, which is very much the whole sort of giftware industry, and it's linked in with the Department of Industry and all this sort of stuff. Little old me and my sort of gift 3-pack, through it came, it was shortlisted in the under £10 one, and it actually won a highly commended in the Mind, Body and Soul, which was the tortoise range, which obviously gave me this huge tick from the retail industry.
It's a real lovely dream story as well, isn't it? From just having that,
hard work.
Hard work, of course. Well, anything worth it always is, isn't it? That's the thing. And the lovely thing about it is that while we think, and we may know men who absolutely love their cars, their own bodywork and smell is obviously as important to them. They love the gifts.
Well, exactly. The shower gel has been written in the words of quite a famous polishing product that is in a white container, and it's all play on words, and I love that. I absolutely love humour. I love humour.
Well, it's the way forward. You've got to be humorous in this day and age, I think, isn't it, as well? Now, of course, the book, Kama Sutra, how did you do research for that, or was it just coming from the heart because of your observations?
No, just coming from the heart.
Oh.
It's all from the heart. It's basically sort of like a self-help book of what to do if you fall in love with a man who loves his car, what to look for, how it all started, why men are like this, etc., etc. And then at the end, there's a bit for men only, like how to keep your woman happy and get her to, polish the car at the same time, and and all of that. This is the amazing thing about that is that the book has just been picked up to be made into a movie for 2012.
Wow.
I know. You probably didn't know that. I probably didn't tell you
know
that.
No, you haven't. I couldn't find that anywhere. That is fantastic.
I know.
You're a Suffolk icon. You're going to become a Suffolk icon. We were talking about this on Friday.
Really?
About Suffolk icons, about the website. So, fantastic.
Well, I was brought up in Lavenham
Yeah.
as a child. My father's rector of Lavenham, actually, and I had some brilliant times there. And I was around when they were sort of filming, Witchfinder General, and Yoko and John Lennon came in their balloon and all that sort of, time. And so I'm a Suffolk girl, but I went off to school because I had a stammer, actually. And so I was paid to go off to an all-girls boarding school, which really helped my stammer.
Yeah.
And then I came back, went up to London, trained at the London College of Fashion, did all clothes for movie stars, then married. And, I became housewife and mother and all those wonderful, wonderful things that are such important jobs, actually.
Aren't they just? They're the most
Absolutely.
important ones. And they, we were saying like from the heart, because that's where it starts, within the home and looking around and how different things, affect you one way or another. Let's talk some more after we've heard from the Beatles and Something.